I also want to thank the players though that went the other way because they were homegrown players, really good people, very good hockey players, and I think this deal is a really good hockey deal for both. But watch when Zygris actually takes the shot. He just slides it, and by that time Jonathan Quick is deep, and he gets a fortunate bounce. Because what if I told you some of the NHL's biggest names aren't actually that good anymore? Yeah, the contracts are massive, the hype is louder than the goal horn, and yet the production flat. Applause. We're talking about $10 million guys playing like third liners, defensemen praised as elite, who can't stop a 2-1, players who make more highlights than headlines for the wrong reasons. So, here's a question. Are these stars truly elite, or just living off old reputations and marketing hype? From Jonathan Huberdeau's disappearing act to Darnell Nurse's $9 million confusion and Trevor Zegras' TikTok-level defense, we're breaking down the NHL's most overrated players. Grab your stick, keep your heads up, and try not to trip over these price tags because this list might sting a few fan bases. Jonathan Huberdeau. The $10.5 million mystery. Jonathan Huberdeau went from a $15 point superstar in Florida to a ghost in Calgary. When the Flames signed him to a $10, $5 million a year through 2031, they thought they were buying an offensive engine. Instead, they got a stalling motor. His production dropped to 55 points in year one, and somehow it's gotten worse. Analysts now call him the most overrated point producer in hockey. The issue isn't talent, it's fit. In Florida, Huberdeau thrived on creativity. Applause. In Calgary's structured system, he looks lost. His passes miss, his timing's off, and his confidence looks broken. Fans have gone from patient to panicked, wondering how a 30-year-old can look this out of sync. He's not washed, just misplaced. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the defenseman making $9 million to play like a third-pair placeholder. Darnell Nurse, the $9 million enigma. Darnell Nurse looks like a franchise defenseman. Big frame, heavy minutes, leadership role, but the results never match the paycheck. The Oilers pay him $9, $25 million per year, and fans are asking for what exactly? He plays top-pair minutes, but statistically, he's not a top-pair guy. Defensive zone coverage, shaky rush, defense average. Playoffs painful, even NHL players agree. Nurse ranked second in the Atlantic's 2024 most overrated poll. It's not that he's bad, he's just not what his contract demands. At $5 million, he's a solid piece. At $9 million, he's a lightning rod. His deal eats up cap space that could help McDavid and Draisaitl actually win. To his credit, Nurse plays with effort and physicality, but when the stakes rise, so do the mistakes. And that brings us to a player who's all flash, no finish. Trevor Zegras, the human highlight reel, and that's it. Trevor Zegras is the NHL's poster boy for flash. The lacrosse goals, the viral moments, the swagger, it's fun to watch. But when NHL players voted him the most overrated in 2024, watch when Zegras actually takes the shot. He just slides it. And by that time, Jonathan Quick is deep. And he gets a fortunate bounce because Jonathan goes, it wasn't because they hate fun, it's because the results don't match the hype. Nearly 13% of players named him, criticizing his lack of consistency, turnovers, and effort. Anaheim expected a franchise leader. Instead, they got a YouTube sensation who vanishes on defense. Injuries haven't helped, but even healthy, Zegras feels like a star without substance. It's great. He seems like a very intelligent guy, obviously been around the game for a long time, and I thought day one was a lot of fun. Fans love him for making hockey entertaining again, and fair enough. But the league doesn't pay for trick shots, it pays for wins. Zegras has time to evolve, but right now he's more viral than valuable. And that's the danger of hype. It fades fast when the goals stop coming. Steven Stamkos, the captain without a spark. Seeing Steven Stamkos in anything other than lightning blue still feels wrong. After carrying Tampa Bay for over a decade, he signed with Nashville for $8 million a year. And so far, it's been a letdown. 27 goals and 53 points aren't terrible, but for that salary, it's like paying for front row seats and getting stuck behind a pole. At 35, the signs of decline are hard to miss. The one time doesn't scare goalies anymore. Edmund on the ice, it's Stamos, he got in. Steven Stamkos to the net. Scores. His skating slowed and the frustration is obvious. Cameras have caught him snapping at teammates and slamming sticks like a man realizing Tampa was his last real shot at glory. Is it age the system? Maybe both. Nashville plays a grinding style, not exactly built for a sniper past his prime. Stamos earned his legend in Tampa, but in Nashville it feels like the song's fading out. And from aging stars to players who vanish mid-season, let's head to Long Island. Matthew Barzal, the Islanders' vanishing act. Matthew Barzal might be the NHL's ultimate tease. All speed, skill, and flair, but rarely the results to match. He's making $15 million a year and has only one season above a point per game. Islanders fans are starting to ask, is that it? Barzal looks elite on ice, smooth edges, crazy hands, highlight plays, but the consistency in there. What else does he have for us tonight? Another incredible goal from Matt Barzal. Boy, when he scores there, unbelievable. Some blame the Islanders' defense first system. Others say he just hadn't evolved. He shines one shift and disappears the next. And staying healthy, that's been another battle. He's still the Islanders' most entertaining player, but entertainment doesn't equal dominance. Barzal's the guy who makes you lean forward, then sigh 2 plays later. He's not bad, just frustratingly incomplete. Still, the spotlight pressure he faces is nothing compared to the next guy. A teenager carrying an entire franchise on his back, Connor Bedard. The weight of the hype. But let's be clear, Connor Bedard isn't overrated. The hype is when you're labeled a generational talent before turning 20, expectations explode. Chicago fans expected instant miracles. But Bedard's sophomore slump, the longest goal drought of his career, reminded everyone he's still a kid. Every missed shot becomes a headline, every quiet game a debate. Yet the flashes of brilliance are still there in Salt Lake City. Applause, Karish from the puck feeds it over, here's Cribier. That deadly release, the poise, the vision. The problem isn't his play, it's the microscope he's under. Crosby and McDavid had support when they arrived. Bard's got rookies and rebuild scraps, he's carrying too much too soon. And fans forget he's learning on the fly. His future's still bright, it's just the present that's heavy because for every overhyped rookie finding his way, there's a veteran skating on reputation and cashing checks he no longer deserves. And trust me, those names are next. Charlie McAvoy, the quiet elite who isn't quite elite. Charlie McAvoy's reputation and paycheck don't exactly match up. Ask most fans who the league's top defensemen are, and his name comes up fast. Strong skater, physical, reliable. But at $5 million a year, reliable doesn't cut it anymore. His best scoring pace, 62 points per 82 games. Solid, sure. But when guys like Cale Marr and Quinn Hughes are redefining the position, McAvoy feels stuck in second gear. Part of the problem is Boston's structure. Defense first, low risk, low reward. But even then, McAvoy's offense fades with the Bruins need it most. He's great, just not elite. A dependable leader, absolutely. A $9.5 million cornerstone, not quite. From a steady but overpaid Bruin to a once magical defenseman who's lost his spark, let's talk Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson, the fall of a hockey magician. Erik Karlsson used to be hockey's version of a glitch. Effortless speed, vision, and highlight reel passes that didn't seem real, but those days are fading fast. After his 2023 Norris winning season, his move to Pittsburgh was supposed to be a comeback story. Instead, it's been rough. Despite 53 points, Karlsson sits at a brutal -24, leaving Penguins fans wondering if his $10 million cap hit was worth it. He still has the magic in flashes, those slick rushes, those perfect cross-ice feeds, but they're rare now. Good work by Karlsson State. Passes score. Wow, what a play. The defensive lapses are constant and the mistakes erase whatever brilliance he brings offensively. It's like watching a rock star past his prime. Still talented, but not the same. And if Karlsson's issue is fading dominance, our next player's problem is inflated hype and a fan base that finally stopped buying the act. Mitch Marner, the golden boy that Toronto outgrew. Mitch Marner used to be Toronto's golden child. Local hero, silky hands, endless creativity. But after years of playoff no-shows and contract drama, the shine wore off. Now with Vegas, Marner's trying to prove he's still elite, but that overrated tag followed him like baggage. His regular season stats still impress, but come playoff time, silence. Too often when Toronto needed him most, he disappeared. Leafs fans got tired of waiting, tired of excuses, and when he was traded, it felt more like relief than heartbreak. In Vegas, flashes of his old brilliance return. Smart passes, slick setups, but the question lingers down, is he a superstar or just a high-end playmaker who folds under pressure? His skill's undeniable, but hockey remembers postseason moments, not pretty assists in January. And while Marner is trying to rewrite his story in Vegas, Toronto has already turned the page. And that says everything. John Gibson, the fading star in Anaheim. There was once a time when John Gibson was the only reason the Anaheim Ducks were even watchable. He was an elite goalie on a bad team, stealing games he had no business winning, but that was years ago. Since signing his big contract in 2018, Gibson's game has dropped hard. His save percentage now floats around .900. And while that might not sound awful for a franchise goalie, it's a red flag. To be fair, Anaheim hadn't exactly helped him. The team's defense has been leaky for years, and he's faced a ridiculous number of high-danger shots. But even accounting for that, Gibson's numbers keep sliding. He's gone from underrated superstar to overpaid veteran just hanging on. The eye test doesn't help either. Rebounds, slow recoveries, inconsistent positioning. At 31, it feels like the window for a true comeback is closed. Ducks fans still love him, but the rest of the league, they see a goalie who peaked early and never adjusted. And if Gibson's story is about fading quietly, the next one's about a legend fighting time itself and maybe finally losing the battle. Alex Ovechkin, the legend past his prime. Alex Ovechkin doesn't need defending. He's one of the greatest goal scorers ever. Period. But at 40, even legends start to slow down. While fans still show up to watch him chase Gretzky's record, some analysts are starting to whisper the unthinkable. Is OV overrated now? Look, the man's resume is untouchable. 800 plus goals, countless milestones, a cup, an MVP shelf that could collapse under its own weight. But lately his numbers tell a different story. His shot volume's down. His 5-on-5 play has slipped, and he's relying more on power play setups than ever. The passion's still there. The legs, not so much. It's not that Ovechkin's bad, far from it. He's just not the unstoppable machine he once was. Yet, because he's Oye, every quiet night feels louder. Every scoreless streak feels like a crisis. That's the curse of greatness. Your decline isn't normal, it's news. Still, if there's one thing we've learned from Ovechkin, it's this. Count him out and he'll probably rip a one-time just to shut you up. Because in hockey, overrated doesn't always mean done. It just means the expectations are still chasing the ghosts of greatness. And that's one fight even legends can't win. And there you have it. The NHL's Hall of Hype. Players with superstar contracts and highlight real names, but production that barely skates by. From Hubo's disappearing act to Marner's playoff ghosting and Avkin fading firepower, this list proves one thing. Reputation lasts longer than performance in hockey. The media keeps selling the past while fans are stuck paying for the present. But here's the real question. Which one of these players do you think is the most overrated? Did I miss someone? Maybe there's a name you think shouldn't be on here at all. Drop your takes in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. And if you want more brutally honest hockey breakdowns just like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because next time we're going even deeper. The most underrated players the NHL keeps sleeping on. You won't want to miss it.